Hello again, and welcome to Pixels and Points. I am Matt Nelson, the media director at Red Rock, and with me, of course, is Susie, the media buyer, media guru, traditional media buying awesomeness. And today, I have a special episode where we are going to dive into specifically restaurant news and information. So, for the first article to go over, we're going to go with Susie. So, what do you got today, Susie?
So I brought a traditional article today talking about basically traditional radio and TV advertising for fast food and quick service restaurants. And it's pretty interesting. A lot of it's common sense, but when you kind of look at the numbers and put it all together, it makes a really compelling case to use radio when trying to advertise for fast food, quick service restaurants. So this was a couple months ago. Nielsen and Scarborough published a study. And of course, we all know that fast food, it has a heavy, heavy TV spend and always has. What they found with this current study was fast food patrons are younger, they have children, they're employed, which is good, and they drive a lot. So driving kids around, driving for work, they are in the car a lot. So what that translates to is heavy radio listeners are about 25% more likely to visit a QSR more than 10 times a month. So it really translates heavy radio, heavy fast food, patron. And with TV, they came out and said it's 15% less likely that a heavy TV user is going to be frequenting those QSR restaurants. And when you really think about it on its face, it makes sense. If you're in the car all the time, you're going to be hitting up the drive-through. If you're at home watching TV all the time, you're not going to be out and about going and running and picking up food. You're going to be cooking at home.
Yeah, and what's great about those kind of audiences is they're pretty station loyal. So they're not flipping around the dial looking for the next song, that kind of stuff. They're usually like they have their 3 stations that they want to listen to. So they're pretty good audiences for this kind of a target.
Right. It's like the loyal radio listener is going to be that loyal fast food customer for that same brand. So that's where we've got to reach them. Another thing it had talked about that I thought was really interesting was media spend, right? So we're saying totally makes sense on where to reach these people. Why is the spending so lopsided? So 92% of traditional budgets go to TV and about 8% are on AM FM radio. And when you think about it, radio is outperforming TV. What did it say? At 89% as far as like brand recall recognition is what they had found, but it's a quarter of the price. So obviously makes sense. You never want to go away from TV entirely, but for our restaurants and people that are trying to save money, maybe have smaller budgets, radio is 100% the way to go.
That's really good. It's nice to see that the numbers line up with what we already know to be true. So it's good.
Yep, exactly. And then the last stat they had, which I thought was really compelling, was the ROI. So the ROI for every dollar spent in radio translates into a $3 increase in sales for QSR restaurants. So
awesome.
There you go. So yeah, awesome. Very interesting and just kind of goes along with what we're doing with our restaurants, right? We love those radio endorsements. We love being there. We like that local tie-in. Makes sense.
And does this mean anything for the non-quick service restaurants, like the regular, sit-down restaurants, other than?
I think that's kind of that more compelling argument for TV for the family restaurants, because you're sitting down together, you're making a decision. But with that, it's all about timing, right? That's kind of how I look at it, is what day part are you going to be in? When are people making that decision about when they're going to go out to eat? If you're ordering a pizza, it's 5 minutes before you order the pizza, right? But if you're planning to go out to eat, it's maybe a couple hours. You want to hit them during like early fringe, early news, those kind of things on TV. And same thing with drive times.
Before they made the decision,
Exactly.
No, you want to be top of mind when that conversation comes up. So that's exactly where you want to be. All right, you want to switch over to the next one?
Yes, let's switch over.
More of a response article for us to talk about these. This article's title is basically 5 future marketing trends for quick service restaurants. And I like to think of these are also marketing trends that any restaurant can kind of look at. And we're going to kind of respond to, our take on it, just because we're very much in this industry, more so on the restaurant side than the quick service restaurants. So we'll go, if you want to scroll down to the actual slideshow that they go through.
Yep. Oh,
Looks like we're getting a little bit froze on your side, but anyway, so the first one that comes up is the hyper local marketing for quick serves,
yep.
and this is what this is talking about. Is that it's very important to target on a hyper local level, and that's down to about like a one. They're talking about a 1 mile radius.
Mhm.
When um, I from what we've seen with restaurants, yes, the 1 mile radius is definitely a top place to get to. Are you able to scroll down on that side, Susie?
Yes. Can you see if I continue scrolling?
No, I just see the little hand up on the window. Is it showing on your side?
It is.
Okay, so just make sure it's on your side. So anyway, they're talking about hyperlocal as being 1 mile radius can really work, and they're talking about using hyperlocal trends and things that and tools for that. Some of the tools they talk about is Google search and some of their tools that they have where you can do a hyper local kind of ad campaign there within 1 mile, targeting people who are looking for, like hamburgers near me or something like that.
Hmm.
And they're also talking about how on Facebook you can do like a 1 mile search. What we do on these hyper local kind of marketing tactics is we take a look at the foot traffic that have come to that restaurant. So we're taking a mobile ID audience that has been to your restaurant, and then we're expanding on that by seeing, where are their nighttime locations, where are their daytime locations, where are they coming from, how far away are they coming from. And what we've seen for a lot of regular restaurants is that most people that are coming to your site are probably 3 to 5 miles away, within 3 to 5 miles away. So you're not losing anybody by that 1 mile radius, but we like to do it at least at a 5 mile radius to really get those people that are driving in, because you are willing to drive a little bit farther for a real restaurant than you are, for a McDonald's, where there's a McDonald's every mile or something like
Right,
that.
right. It's more of a outing destination. You're going to spend more time there to go a little further.
Absolutely. And we see, of course, people are willing to drive from longer away if it's on a major highway. We'll see like elongated, feed patterns and things like that. So, on to the next one. We see that delivery apps have changed food service marketing forever.
Let's go
This
to
is
this
this
next
is
one.
just talking about how making sure that your restaurant is, attached to one of those delivery services. Um, and that you're using it and you're being competitive with other odd restaurants that are in the same funnel, so that quick serve needs to be, you need to have great online reviews for your quick serve, as well as encouraging regular customer interactions with your social media content. And talking
Yep.
about social media content, that'll be into more. You're still frozen on my side, but I hope we're recording.
It's showing up on my end, so.
Next, the quick service needs to embrace Wi-Fi marketing. This is actually kind of handy.
Mhm.
What they're talking about now is that provide at your location free Wi-Fi, so that when somebody comes into your site and wants to use the Wi-Fi, they have to actually log in. And what they're
Mhm.
asking you to do is to like gather that email information. What you can also do at the same time is that you can gather their mobile ID. That's what most people
That's
don't
the part I
do,
like
is
about this. Yep, so
with the
smart.
mobile ID. And so when people are in your restaurant and they're logged in to say your Wi-Fi, you can pull their mobile ID, you can pull their email. What's great about the email is that you can put that into Facebook, into Google, into a bunch of other different tactics, and use that to, do some sort of retargeting. But what you can also do is use that mobile ID, which is a better tool than an email, because
For sure.
that email that they use to log in may not be the email that is linked on Facebook.
Right.
But
I
that
always give them
mobile
my junk email.
Yes, that mobile ID that they have on their phone is their phone.
Right.
And with that mobile ID, you can use a lot more information. It's a better source of data in the system. So in this part of the article, they only talk about the email, and I'm saying mobile ID is a better source of information if you can grab that as well.
Yeah, I think that's
So
always the most valuable data to have, right? In your experience, for sure.
yeah, it's and more tactics are open up to use mobile ID, because your mobile phone is most people's computer that's not work. So
Absolutely.
it works out really well there. All right. Next,
Next.
the power of using Snapchat marketing.
Hmm.
So this is where we're going to get into some of their ideas on here. They're saying Snapchat gives quick service restaurants potential run of personality infused campaigns on a local level, and this can be, I don't know, this is a kind of a mixed bag because I don't know how engaging a hyper local restaurant can be on Snapchat and TikTok. That's for a social
Hmm.
media director to decide on what's going to be the best kind of content, which neither of us are, but we have a social
Exactly.
media director here at Red Rock that is very good at putting this kind of information out there on the social media and making it content relevant to the restaurants. And we do this on Snapchat, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on all of the different social medias. I mean, if it makes sense, on Pinterest too.
Yep.
But like one of the videos that we did, it was on, I believe it was on TikTok that we did for one of our clients, and it just went crazy when it was a silly little, right, it was a silly little
Yep. It was cute.
but it was relevant to what the client does. It
Exactly.
was very silly, but it did go viral, and so the client was really happy with that. But yeah, definitely using social media, but use it in a conscious way that whatever you're using it for is relevant to your business and not just, happy St.
Trying to go
Patrick's
viral.
Day
Yep.
or that kind of a thing, because people will just go blind to that kind of stuff if it's not relevant. The next one on here, quick serves need video to share engaging storytelling. So this one
Yes.
kind of goes with the other one. It's basically
Hmm.
social media. And yes, it's important, but it needs to be relevant to your business. Like, don't just do posts that have nothing really to do with your company. Like if you're I don't know, an AC repair company, don't talk about, the I don't even know, like some holiday that came up or something that like happy pancake day.
Right.
It
Exactly. Yeah.
doesn't make any
National
sense.
Donut Day.
Yeah, National Donut Day. You
But
can
yeah, but
seriously
definitely talk
really,
about the
but
heat
put
wave
out like
coming in and summertime, and yeah, tie it into what you're doing.
kind of what you're doing. Some of the other stuff they say is make sure you have, stories about the story of your restaurant, who you are, what the company's motivations are, passions, kind of like your mission statement, who you want to be.
Hmm.
That can only take you so far, but you want to continue with a good social media manager that keeps the content relevant and just continuing, because you always want to keep stuff updated. Otherwise, it's going to get stale and you're just going to drop off any kind of for you page kind of a deal.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, and that's most of their tips for it. One of the tips they don't talk about, and this kind of goes with that mile radius advertising, which is what we really um, excel in, is we
Absolutely.
also do mobile ID competitive. So one of their tactics that they should have talked about is being able to, you know, pull audiences from your competitor restaurants in the area and advertising to them with their mobile IDs, and using different vendors that offer that.
Yep, love that.
There is ways to get it, but yeah, being able to pull what's something that we do is we're able to pull a report. We're able to see where our customers are coming from and where competitors customers are coming from. We see the overlap, but then we'll see there might be an area right here which was within our 3 mile radius, but the people
Hmm.
are going to our competitor and not to us.
Yep.
So that's a opportunity for us that they're obviously not getting the message, so we can target them for our sit down restaurants. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's
it's great. You
pretty
can make everything so efficient. And not only are you just targeting hyper local, you're even getting more granular and being able to overserve areas that, yeah, like you said, we see all those opportunities. So it's such a great
yeah.
strategy.
Any other points I didn't cover on any of that?
I think that's it. Yeah, just wrapping up. It's all social, Wi Fi, video, and getting as much data as you can.
Yeah, and all of this is what I just went over was basically the digital sections of all of this. But yeah, going back to your previous article, traditional is very much necessary for restaurants as
Always.
well.
Yep.
Not even talking about billboards. So
Oh,
We're not even
exactly. Directional, locational for QSR. That works so great for us. You know, you always got to have that turn here because that is that split-second decision.
So, if you're watching this video and you have any other questions for us, let us know. We're always happy to
Definitely.
answer. All right.
Yeah. Good to talk to you today. Now I'm
Yeah.
hungry. We're talking about restaurants.
It's almost lunchtime for us.
It
So, yeah,
is.
good topic. All right.
Great.
Thank you very
Well, we'll
much.
see you guys next time. Yeah. Thanks for watching. All right.
All right.
15
Sorry,
minutes.
I kind of steamrolled through that my section. I was just
Well,